give a little bit of credence to the idea that they may run into each other. If they do, it'll be in the upper bracket semifinals of the TI qualifier. We're going to start off with an early first blood. It's looking like onto Captain Kuro, as Nigma is going to give that one away to Thompson. So apparently that's how we're going to be starting our matchup. But yeah, these two teams, they don't start off against each other, but in the second round of the upper bracket, they may face each other. And who knows, that may be the last time they face each other.
Yeah, because it was based on DPC points, right? And OG, I think, is fourth of the teams in the region. Oh no, sorry, they're third. Yeah, fourth.
Yes, they are fourth. Nigma is number one.
Yeah,
in
that's wild.
DPC points. So,
well, either way, we've seen the meta shift, I think, in this tournament a little bit based off of what we expected from the major. This is the third Medusa game in a row that me and you are going to cast again with a Brewmaster, but I am just hoping and praying that OG keep their number of Midases to one.
Midas.
No, definitely not. We will not see that. But
you don't believe in the Midas Dusa, huh, Kyle?
I do not. I checked because I got called out, and there was not a single game at the major. The hero already underperformed at the major. Was 4-8, but never bought a Midas. And you could argue maybe you should buy a Midas. Now I knew you know.
Yeah, exactly. If the hero is underperforming, you got to figure out a different item build to make it work, right?
Well, it's one of the games. The only thing I'd recommend is Force Staffs, Cap. If Medusa wants to buy a Pike for that reason, I think it's a great decision. In the match that Nigma destroyed VP with this combination, the Axe and the Invoker, VP had 0 Force Staffs, and that makes the initiation potential for Nigma just way too strong and uncounterable. You just taunt into Cataclysm and delete heroes from the map. A couple of Force Staffs, you'll be able to save your allies. So that's got to be rushed. Not rushed, but at a timing around the Aghanims for Miracle.
Meanwhile, another hero that we didn't get to see that much. I think Nigma was really one of the only teams. I think somebody else ran Rubik as well, but the GH Rubik going to make an appearance once again. Our mid lane matchup is going to be Thompson versus Miracle, Void Spirit versus the Invoker. And then our bottom lane matchup is where the Animage is looking to be trying to farm up. No Tail. He's going to cop a bit of aggression here. Always kind of awkward when you're caught between your tier 1 and tier 2 with Battle Hunger on you. GH is going to actually die first. Mind Control could not get the spins fast enough. Either way, though, with First Blood already claimed, it's just a trade off of supports.
Yeah, the Rubik pick is interesting because only GH at the major really made this hero look playable. But even then, he had to go absolutely out of his mind. And I got to figure this is just comfort for Team Nigma. I mean, end of the day, GH, one of the best 4s in the world, one of the best Rubiks. There are some interesting steals. The Brewmaster could be a great spell. I wonder, does he still have that bound even, the new brew? Like, let's say the Shard comes up. There's no way GH has pre-bound a key for the Void Spirit Panda.
Oh yeah, the Void Bruling, that thing. Yeah, that's a weird one for sure. Though we don't really get to see the Void Bruling come up very often in general. I was very surprised to see it in I don't remember what match that was. I think yesterday that somebody picked it up. That's a bold micromanagement player right there.
Yeah. We'll see. It's a very nice AM game for ILTW, so definitely can expect a more passive style. I think OG are actually the ones that are going to want to hit a pretty solid timing here. I would be very hesitant to go late game into Invoker AM, not just because of the Cataclysm, but Alacrity Animage is pretty ridiculous, especially once you have that 3rd, 4th item up.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see the AM was still in the pool when they picked up the Medusa and they had their bans available, especially since they were going to go Brewmaster. I feel like Brew would have been better against the TB, as an example.
Yeah,
that they banned
totally
away.
Agree.
AM is super good against Brewmaster throughout all stages of the game.
Yep, and they're gonna just play more of this rat style, shove lanes, and to your point, Brewmaster is great at team fighting, but Seb's gonna be hard pressed to ever actually find the Animage and secure kills.
Okay, so if we are going to be playing, as you say, kind of a rat game, very much pickoff oriented, Thompson a little bit low here, but Miracle going to be burned out of all of his mana. So I don't think anybody's dying in this situation. Is Mind Control going to go Manta in this game?
I think so, yeah. There's no need to really go for anything other than the ability to shove lanes and control the map. OG, right. They have the DOTA, but Void and Brewmaster, not the greatest at clearing creep waves. The two supports, I love AA Nyx as a combination, but the big weakness is you absolutely cannot kill creep waves. And this is going to be a pretty big issue for OG if this game does really slow down. Nyx Assassin has to be able to play off map and aggressively, and I don't really see his kill partner. You know, I guess him and Thompson can get some work done, but you know, the burst isn't super high if they don't find a support. I don't think they're killing an AM.
Going in deep there for that courier. I'm not sure if you've been watching Mind Control's play here, but it's super interesting. He's been playing mostly in the jungle, farming up like the medium camp on the high ground here, and then occasionally will look to be able to cut creep waves. He's just basically not laning and giving it all to GH right now.
Yep. I like it. I mean, this is kind of the new way to play Axe. Anytime, well, Axe and Centaur, anytime you have a difficulty with the carry you're laning against, it's more efficient just to do as he's done. It's similar to watching, oh, hang on, mid.
We'll pick up on Thompson. Tornado into telekinesis. A good rotation.
Yeah,
time
but that's
there,
activated.
And they can even set up for a 6-minute power run.
That's because of Mind Control, though, because he's shoving this lane. GH doesn't really need to be anywhere, so he's free to go look to gank and make rotations. And now with a Vanguard, he'll just be left alone top, and he'll pull every creep wave to this high ground jungle spawn.
Seb, is he actually going to die here? He does have a Fairy Fire, but he doesn't really have an easy escape out of this one. With Fatal Bonds put on him with the creep wave, I think he should be fine. Ring of Health and a Fairy Fire should keep him alive, no problem.
Tops him with an Arcane Ring, though. That's quite nice. And a big Ancient stack, most likely for Mind Control. I think he can take that pretty much now with that Vanguard. No reason to save it for the Battle Fury AM.
Smail coming over and just kind of poking at Mind Control, but again, between an Ancient Apparition and a Medusa, this feels like a very free Axe lane once he gets his Vanguard.
Yep.
Soxa setting up here, and they will manage to quickly burst him down. That was 2 levels of the Aether Remnant, so maximum burst damage there from the Void Spirit. Quickly gets the pick off on Kuro. Nothing, a huge consequence there, just because Kuro doesn't have anything else to do. ILTW is already winning the lane against Seb. He doesn't need the extra help.
I will say this is also a pretty cool combo, the Axe and the Rubik, because yes, you can still farm this hard camp, the Ancient camp pretty easily, but I thought they were going to just go for it instead. They're going to help mid. He's going to be okay, but
Thompson jumping back and forth, but it does kind of bait No-Tail into a bad position here as the 2 supports showing up from the side of Nigma, getting a 3-3 now.
So with a Vanguard, Axe can do Ancients, but it'll lose a lot of HP. The Fade Bolt damage reduction is really nice because then you effectively don't lose any HP if you're farming under that. And you see, no way.
He's really gunning for it here. With the creep wave hitting him, he can keep on chasing after Sumail. These range creeps and tower hits coming in. Sumail's going to get blocked in. Oh, no. Mind Control. Cold Feet is going to stun him very soon, but he needs a Culling Blade. No! Sumail gets out of vision just in time. The Culling Blade not able to come in. Mind Control misses out on a kill still, though. Maybe not. GH comes in, doesn't throw out the Fate Bolt onto the Medusa. Instead, hits Soxa with it. As Mind Control still trying to chase down heroes underneath this tower. Miracle is actually going to wrap in from behind with his earned pickup and find Sumail behind the tier 2 tower. Sumail knows he's dead, and No-Tail very likely to follow him as Mind Control continues to chase him down. Miracle, whiff on the tornado there. That's a little awkward. Okay, never mind.
No, that wasn't a whiff, Cap. He didn't miss. No-Tail made a nice juke.
Oh, right. Sorry. Great job, No-Tail.
We got to focus on the positives.
Jump forward, Curl. Double damage. Void Spirit is not to be trifled with, but fortunately, the 2 supports. GH. Nice steal getting the Astral Step.
Yeah, I feel like Mind Control in this Axe is just consistently the breadwinner for his team. Top net worth now. You know, we haven't even mentioned LTW. We don't have to. He's farming bottom freely because he's against an enemy Brew. And this means that the squad of Nigma can just rotate all around the map. Miracle just top now with his axe. Warlock takes mid for free. MC clears every wave. He would have killed the DOTA himself if he just got one extra spin. None in like 10 seconds. Very unlucky.
Mind Control got a chip vest, so he is very happy with this game now. Soxa is just going to soak up whatever experience he can. Miracle's waiting for someone to show and defend this tower, but I don't think anybody is. I think Soxa is just trying to get to his level 6 so he can be a bit more useful. Meanwhile, ILTW has kind of left the bottom lane to go running around farming. Or to watch that.
Look, see how he stopped there?
True, yes. He stopped for literally a quarter of a second.
Great play from No Tail.
Amazing.
Just so close. Unlucky. Miracle. Unlucky.
Dive in mid lane. Kuro. Oh, Thompson not going to make the commitment there. Use the dissimulate to jump backwards. Does have another astral step, so he should be fine. Not a big deal. As oh, never mind. Chases after him. Double astral step forward. Pulls Thompson back in. Thompson is just going to have to turn and try and hit a good enough resonant pulse to stay alive, but that's not good enough against ILTW. The big burst of magic damage from the Mana Void.
Yeah, so far so good really for OG though. Seb's doing a lot better than I expected in terms of the net worth, and because Nigma have made so many movements, they haven't really been able to dominate the lanes as well as you might have expected, although towers should start to fall. MC will clear up top, and the big concern for OG is going to be how do they handle the axe blink timing. It's going to be coming out pretty soon.
They're going to push back Miracle here in the mid lane to make sure that the siege creep does die. Oh, Resonant Pulse tried to catch the Void Spear and keep him inside of that EMP. They're actually going to go for this kill. Miracle, underneath the effects of the Ice Blast, may end up ticking out here. Is that going to be enough? God, it's going to be so close, but I think he's just going to be a bit shy. Oh, the last tick. Oh, no. Meanwhile, Mind Control trying to run down Soxa here. Soxa does have a stick and Vendetta, so it's not like he's in any real danger here.
Very chill game so far. A lot more action actually out of the carries than I think we would expect. I like that move from LTW securing the kill. Now back to farming. MC has his blink, and that's going to be a pretty interesting movement because, you know, Team Nigma, they're not really the strongest in the team fight department right now. They have to play for picks, but at the same time, the support duo, you know, Warlock isn't really going to be able to contribute much. You can even see he went for the maxed out Shadow Word, so just healing his allies more than anything at the moment.
This time around, he won't manage to dodge the tornado. Miracle on point with the placement, and GH following that up with the Resonant Pulse that he had stolen earlier. Or excuse me, Void Remnant. Ether Remnant. Jesus Christ, I can't get any of the names right.
It's all good.
So if this is going to be a chill game, as you were saying, does that benefit one side more than the other?
I would have kind of hard to say, really. I feel like OG are a bit more on the clock, but realistically, I think there's enough balance in both drafts to scale pretty effectively. Nigma kind of need that map control, and they've got to ride this Axe Blink Dagger to success. They didn't really go for the idea that we were expecting. Great scout by Thompson.
Kuro, oh, jump forward. They do manage to get the call onto the Nyx Assassin, but still, Thompson already killing Kuro here and setting up to be able to get the kill onto Mind Control as well. Never mind. This guy's too tanky. So they just take the two supports and call it a day.
Yeah, that's how you want to start every single fight for OG. Find the supports, immediately kill them. They didn't have Miracle. He'll be going Midas. Seb, I think, already has his. Yep, it's up. So I can agree always with the Brew Midas. It's the Deuce and the Void Spirit that I think should stick to real items. Miracle will be grabbing one as well shortly, but yeah, it'll be the man to rush after Dragonlance for Sumail. I'm wondering if OG are going to venture across the river, maybe look to take any towers. You can look at the 3 wards they have placed right now. It's all just securing their side of the river.
Okay, well that courier certainly tells Mind Control what's about to happen, but he may not be able to dodge it. Despite Carapace hits the counter helix and does a good amount of damage combined with Thompson, and they are able to get the kill on a Mind Control Axe who has been mostly free farming. That was the #1 net worth on the side of Nigma.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them kill Seb. Mind Control, I understand his desire to play top, but Seb is just getting way too much space down here. Yes, the AM lanes well, but left in a 1-on-1 situation, you can see Seb also going for the maxed out W build, spamming it on his enemy.
EMP burning out Soxa, but at the same time, Miracle's gonna cop a lot of damage, drop the goal, but Thompson actually dodging it with the Dissimulate, won't be able to dodge the call, but still, Miracle should be dying here to Samalis. Yeah, sure enough, the burst damage comes from Thompson. And Mind Control trying to chase down No Tail, really wants to be able to get this Culling Blade hit so he can get the movement speed, but he won't find it. Instead, he's gonna be controlled up by the Brewmaster, and he's not going anywhere. Slowed down to a crawl with the maxed out Ice Vortex from No Tail that not only saved his life, but assists in killing the Axe.
Yeah, shout out to Sumail. He has been just farming near flawlessly. Like, check out the CS, 164 in 14.5 minutes. And it's just wild how well this hero can do when you invest in these early stat items. It's probably the best use of early game 6 slotting. Obviously not the perfect 6 slot, but Wraithband, Dragonlance, Treads, and a Quelling Blade, you can go start clearing every single camp. And there's really no hero faster. Maybe Luna can compare. And this, yeah, I was about to comment on that. Thank you, Observer. We check out this fight, but there's been a huge Ancient stack for Team Nigma for almost 10 minutes, and they haven't taken it. And I question if they've been perhaps a bit too bloodthirsty, because there was a lot of gold just waiting there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, you were praising Sumail on his farm, but I'm pretty sure the last time we pulled up the camp stack that OG hadn't done a whole lot of stacks for him compared to what Nigma has clearly done with this Ancient stack. Finally, ILTW is going to start burning through it. They're not going to give it to the Axe. It seems like our just general read of this strategy. I think we both agreed we wanted to see like a Manta build from the Axe, so he would be the one farming the Ancients to get closer to that. And we just wanted to see a map control game, right?
Yeah.
Of just like maximizing to try and get to the Cataclysm plus AM late game, but that's not been the case at all.
I mean, my thinking is just Nigma, especially with the Midas Invoker build, they could have been a lot slower and a lot more focused on their team's macro. Yes, you'd prefer Animage to take the stacks, but Mind Control could have cleared him in 8 minutes, and they could have had a fresh stack for ILTW. So perhaps his Battle Fury just a bit off timing, and he'll sweep up all that gold from the jungle, but they're still behind, and I don't know if they really have the late game advantage they think they have.
I really want to be able to catch Seb here. Oh, Mind Control really off with the blink there. I'm not sure if they would have killed Seb anyway, but still. Bit of a missed initiation for Nigma, and now OG looking to be able to finish off this mid tower. If they go on Sumail, they're ready to be able to respond. Mind Control's going to jump forward immediately. The Manta is going to be popped. Ice Blast going out. Doesn't really hit onto much here. Mind Control is going to be frozen down. Meanwhile, Thompson's trying to go for the backline heroes, but GH stealing the Astral Step is going to be able to get away from Thompson. Thompson overcommitting himself now is going to be left behind as this assimilates, but it's not good enough. The damage over time is going to lead him to die. Meanwhile, Mind Control is creating a bunch of space, leading into a 1-for-1 trade-off ultimately.
Gotta say, I think I've seen this out of him in a couple of pubs, but this is my first match where I get to witness the Thompson Echo Saber Deso Void Spirit in all of its glory. Treads, is it good?
I think so. I've watched Thompson do it once or twice, and it does mean that Void Spirit actually scales into the game, which was something that we were, I think, a little bit worried about for OG just because of the carry-to-carry matchup. But if this Void Spirit is actually going to get big enough that he can be on even footing with what Invoker does late game, then this is going to look really nice.
Yeah. It's Witchblade versus Echo Saber. Those are, I think, the items that you're comparing in this spot. Witchblade, no strength and arm, but has armor, whereas the Echo Saber with the passive mana regen, I think is the direction he's going for. It's also technically more burst, or at least comparable burst to the Witchblade. We'll see.
OG.
I don't know about the Deso, but I'm with you on the Echo.
OG doing a good job of just re-pushing down the mid lane. There's no reason to slow things down. They are going to be able to get the call pick off onto No Tail, looks like. Takes a little bit longer than expected, but ultimately the Culling Blade is there. OG. You could see Sumail He is not scared
build.
at all of Nigma.
I love Stumel's item build here. The Crystallis is still one of the most damage efficient items in terms of what you get for the gold spent. And he's already level 15. I mean, this is what I expected Nigma to be doing to OG's map, but instead it's OG just getting super active behind their very fat Medusa. And I don't see a point where ILTW is going to be able to get involved here. Like, even Manta is not going to be enough. He'll need like that next item, whether it's Abyssal or Scotty. And OG, they're just going to push with the Bruce Split ready. How do you stop him?
GH. See if he can jump away with the Astral Step. Another one? No. Thompson comes in with a huge amount of damage. Soxa also managed to get a Spike Carapace on that Astral Step hit.
Yep.
So
that was a double step.
Oh, jumping forward. They're going to try and blow up Thompson as quick as possible. It is not quite enough, but the Golem is there. They finally get him. The Culling Blade still in the back pocket of Mind Control if they can bring somebody else a little bit low, but Samael is forcing them all back with the Stone Gaze. Two supports hitting inside. ILTW gets an opportunity to blow up Samael. Bye-bye mana, bye-bye carry. OG just not expecting this resilient of Enigma underneath their tier 2 towers. Overstepping themselves a bit and losing a very, very bad team fight. I mean, they were up by a good amount of net worth and experience, and that all just goes away off of one team.
Yeah, they had a great ward behind tower too, but just get caught sleeping. Great initiation there from Mind Control and excellent usage. So you're going to see the Manta had just been delivered and ILTW needs it to be able to finish off that kill. The Golem near flawlessly preventing the Dissimulate escape from Thompson. But I mean, Sumel's just like chasing against GH, but that is no man's land. He 100% should have gotten out of dodge. You're gonna see an enormous mana void. There's the AM versus Deuce counter. But just a very odd team fight from OG. They're banking too much on the Echo Saber for Thompson's survivability.
And it's amazing how apparently Dota Plus, the win probability, it was down to 75%. At around 15 minutes, and just that one team fight has even out the game. So apparently, that bit of gold and experience gained and lost is apparently a huge factor when it comes to these two matchups. Like, is that about the Animage versus Medusa matchup? Like, why does that fluctuate so heavily?
Oh, it's the map control, I think, primarily. But yeah, AM suddenly taking top net worth.
Jumping onto the Nyx. He managed to get off Spike Carapace, though, so that actually stops the damage of the Sunstrike. He's still very likely to die unless Soxa, okay, he's not afraid at all, runs back in with the Vendetta. To catch Miracle here with Thompson, but he doesn't really have the backup of the rest of OG, so doesn't overcommit whatsoever. Nigma just equally going to back away. Looks like Kuro already, by the way, very farmed. Holy Locket and has a shard. So look for Nigma to be constantly full HP.
That is a very nice combination. You know what? He must have been watching Siraction Slacks. He posted recently, Warlock is free MMR until the new patch. So Kuro definitely learning from that second place TI runner-up back at TI 6. The thing about the big switch after that fight, if you look at the map, OG invested so many sentries into enemy jungle, and that lost fight means they lose map control, and their Deuce is no longer strong enough to just kind of sit in front line for them. If they don't take that fight, they're going to just control this area indefinitely until they can inevitably move into Roche. Instead, it's Team Nigma now, with Golem back up, that have total control of the necessary area. Very tough now for OG.
They've got the combo that we've been kind of waiting for. They've got an Aghanim Scepter. They don't have maxed out Exort, but it's still going to do a metric shit ton of damage.
No Force Staffs. No Force Staffs on OG.
Oh, the call misses. Seb able to back away fast enough, and he can get off his ultimate Mind Control. His life is going to be forfeit here. Nigma, they're going to try and retreat, but Thompson's already taking advantage of this, trying to catch some of these heroes. Animage is hunting Thompson right now, but ILTW unable to spot him just yet. Miracle's going to get pulled back. ILTW trying to find a way into this one. The Cataclysm going out, not really doing a whole lot of damage here. Miracle dies to the Vendetta hit, and ILTW's realizing that he cannot fight into this OG 5-man. A whiffed initiation from Mind Control. We set that all up, Kyle. We're talking about, there it is, the call Cataclysm, what this lineup's all about, and they just whiff it.
Really, really unlucky on that initiation from Mind Control. He was going for the Brewmaster, and very unfortunately, he missed the call. If he lands that, they're likely going to all in and just explode him because, as stated, no Force Staffs. But you'll see here, the Blink just, again, unlucky off to the side. And at that point, you're just dead on your axe. The split is going to be popped because all Seb needs is a team fight, and he's ready to go Brew form. Now has the Aghanims up, so they'll always have one ready.
Oh, this could snowball. Mind Control getting caught again. Saxa managed to find the opening here onto Nigma. They spot Mind Control trying to play around the... Oh, ILTW jumping in and immediately blowing up Thompson. Now the supports are low as well. Fortunately, the Storm Panda will get ILTW out of this fight, but the rest of Nigma can still catch up. The EMP Tornado catching Saxa here, but the turnaround, this Brewmaster's doing a lot of damage, but at the same time, Samael is losing much of his mana here on his first life. Still, though, the damage being pumped out by him. The turnaround stolen from GH, managed to get the Brewmaster split, keeping himself alive and throwing some nice disables out. Saxa looks to be able to kill GH, though. 3 more seconds. Can he get away? He's going to turn back into Rubik form, though, and I think he's likely dead. He's not going to be able to find any sort of escape mechanism out of that one. OG off of that Roshan pit. Force a team fight. I think it went relatively okay for them. Kind of an even
could have been
split.
much worse. Shout out to GH. He went for the big brain play. He threw up the stun on the Earth Panda as he was coming back. I think a Fade Bolt may have been able to kill off Saxa, but he did a nice job of juking him and getting the fog off. ILTW just controlled completely by Seb in that last team fight. Cyclone twice. And if the primary damage dealer, to compare the net worths, ILTW up in the air, that's like 50% or more of his team's damage. So really nice job by the Panda.
Man, does that talent just suck? He went for the Mana Void stun plus 1 second rather than the damage multiplier. Maybe 0.1 is just pretty garbage.
Yeah, if we check out our advanced stats, looks like you're onto something.
Yeah, win rate a little bit higher for the this stun time. That's just so weird because like Medusa is just a mana hog. She's just 1,700 mana on her. If you manage to burn through that, pop the Mana Void, it's going to be just this gigantic nuke that goes off.
Yeah, and I mean, I gotta watch for Mind Control here. Oh, no tail.
No tail. Yeah, he was trying to get a really nice deep ward out, but sadly, getting spotted in the act is the worst thing. You know, if you get spotted 2 seconds before, you're like, oh, that's fine. But you threw the ward down. That just feels bad.
Yeah, very unlucky that he wandered off by himself there. Will die and lose the ward. They can get the tier 2, though. That would be very hype.
Aghanim Scepter, Nyx Assassin. Do they actually know about this Aghanim Scepter? I'm not sure if they do. The call goes out from Mind Control, initiating onto Samael, but he's got an Aegis. This is not a good jump for them, especially with the Nyx Assassin sitting forward like this. The Sunstrike Cataclysm doing a lot of damage, and that is going to be enough to manage to get the kill onto Saxa. Miracle's going to be up next, but Seb giving up on that chase. ILTW is able to blink away. The upheaval is slowing down most of OGs. They're not able to retreat quite as quickly as they would like to. And there is the Golem available if they want to keep going. At the same time, Seb does have another round of the Primal Split in just 10 seconds. You can see ILTW doesn't want to let them get away from this one, but at the same time, GH gets a little bit too far forward, caught by a nice ward placed by No Tail. Ice Blast coming in. The Animage is going to be caught by that one. Another blink away, though, and he should be just fine. They're going to retake this outpost to make sure that Saxa can rejoin him in just 5 seconds.
Yep, always nice to get outpost control as soon as you possibly can. Definitely looking good for OG, just considering that their brew is going to continue to scale thanks to the passive income of the Midas. Aghanims, Earth Panda will carry the Vladzor into the battle. Solar Crest next item. I'm a big fan. I think you might want to reconsider for an Assault Cuirass just because you can't activate Solar, and with the Aghanims, he'll almost always be in Panda form.
Yeah.
So Mel's just going to push. Minute on Aegis, why not? Already with a butterfly and no MKB in sight for the AM. MC, what?
Mind Control,
what?
blinking. Oh dear, what is going on with MC today? These blinks are not good at all. Thompson trying to go for the kill on a GHA. Stolen Dissimulate will manage to get him out. A nice fatal bonds. Golem drop. Thompson's low. Can they get a little bit more damage onto him? ILTW blinks into the back line, spots him. One hit, and that's all it takes. ILTW is going to have to pop his Manta here. He can still go for no tail if he wants to, but he's got to be careful of getting chain stuck up here. One more second until the blink. He's out. With Thompson down and the age is soon to expire, I think Nigma would like to be able to catch OG as they start backing away.
Mind Control has got to, I don't know, grab a glass of water or something before he respawns. Maybe quick cold
they
shower.
Just left some ale. Ancient Apparition TP'd out, and nobody's really sticking by his side. The Nyx Assassin's going to go down. Beautiful impale. And Miracle, he's actually going to die to this one. The Ice Blast coming in. ILTW blinks away just in time. One more second of disable, and ILTW would have also died. I thought OG was not actually ready for that, but I was totally wrong. OG with just a beautiful turnaround, all thanks to Soxa and his Aghanim Scepter.
Oh yeah, it's the dream for OG. If you pursue them into Stone Gaze with Nyx Assassin prepared. I mean, how many games we've been watching StarCraft since 1990? Lurkers are very troubling, and Soxa plays his role perfectly. Great stun. And now OG, oh, taunt.
Okay, this time to go, but the stun immediately coming out onto ILTW. That's going to save Sumail so much damage here. ILTW stone gazed up. He's hit by the Aghanim Scepter Mystic Snake, and that keeps him from being able to blink away. Mind Control survives, but without a carry for 80 seconds, OG should be able to take most of this. Unfortunately, tier 2s are still up, so if they want to go for Throne, they're going to have to kill more of the Nigma members here. Nice steal from the Primal Split once again from GH, though.
Can't believe he's getting all these spells. He stole Stone Gaze earlier too, just died before it could give the effect. That really shouldn't be something that happens either. And now a Daedalus finished on Sumail. He is enormous. Is level 23, so he's got the talent to go with his Aghanims and Solar now for Seb. So they're just going to follow Sumail all the way to victory if this keeps up. A blink on MC, but more importantly, he's got to start landing some calls. OG basically just playing with them. Still no Force Staffs. Any big axe initiation still will guaranteed land 2 Sunstrikes on top of the target. You can see they get the lift, but ILTW is not there, so he doesn't get any of those hits off. And then Sox is going to come through with an enormous impale stun on everybody, and that gives Sumail time to get the Stone Gaze off. Otherwise, this fight maybe doesn't go so well, but it did. And OG, huge lead.
Soxa just been an amazing player for OG throughout the season and shines once again in this elimination match. OG up 11,000 net worth and looking to be able to close out the game. They do have Roshan to worry about, so they're certainly not going to be going high ground just yet. Is there anything that Nigma can pick up that would turn this game around a little bit more for them? I see BKB for Mind Control and BKB for ILTW. I guess those would help, but just feels like much of this is not going to be enough, Kyle.
No, it does not. And it kind of just goes back to the game plan. Our expectations were totally off, and feels like Team Nigma, even though they came ahead in the laning phase, I really like their earlier rotations. They were content to just give OG their side of the map. Sumail felt absolutely zero pressure outside of the one movement up to his top lane. But once he just went woods, it was easy street. And I point again to that Ancient camp being reserved for 15 minutes until the AM was ready to take it.
I want to point out the build from Thompson. He actually got the right neutral item too.
Oh wow, yeah.
So he's got the Orb of Destruction, so he's doing like minus 13 armor or something like that between all 3 of those minus armor things, plus he's slowing them down with both the Echo Saber and again, the Orb of Corrosion. So all of this is just lining up so the Medusa can output even more damage.
I'm just gonna push high ground. This is an unkillable Deuce at this point, unless they can get an incredible combination off. I like what Thompson did there. He actually, on the last fight, he astral forward to share stun strike damage with Sumail, who had got called. You really just can't lose this if you just don't let your Deuce die.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Burst
Gonna
out.
pop the Primal Split just to kind of ensure that Nigma does not feel good about taking this fight. The Ice Blast did hit the Axe, so he's not going to be able to blink and initiate. GH is going to do it for him as he turns into the Primal Split. ILTW trying to burn out the mana of Sumail, does manage to do so and pulls him up with the Anima Void. You have to remember that this combination, this counter is available throughout the game, and they have to protect Sumail at all costs. And as soon as he's gone, the team fight's just done and dusted. ILTW and the rest of Nigma are just going to grab whatever heroes they can here. Seb, I think he got the Storm Panda. As long as one of the pandas gets out, he should be okay. And it looks like it's going to be the Fire Panda.
Team Nigma, I think it must be Team Jacob, because these guys are the most feaster fan.
Oh, he didn't hit the button. I told you, Kyle. I told you. I've seen so many people do this. They don't hit the button. You have to hit the button. Otherwise, you're going back to the other panda.
What? And the Roche is up. Seb, wait. Okay, how is it they go 4 or 5 straight team fights with suboptimal initiation, and then when it counts, Nigma just press all of their buttons perfectly and 100-0 Sumail? Like, when they're on, this team is insane. And when they're off, sometimes they're just lost. But somehow they've now clawed their way back in, a little bit of equalization with the Aegis and the Shard. Who took Shard? You give it to AM?
The Animage did. And
oh my, yeah,
so now
so
he's
good.
got that the cooldown reduction on Blink. And then on top of that, he's going to have level 25 soon. So look for... I'm not actually sure. Which one do you go for here? Either way, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, as he's going to have level 25 in a second here. Level 20 also picked up on the Invoker, so the Alacrity Animate is huge. OG, let's see if they can now perform, as they've lost the map control and look to be able to defend.
Well, you've seen the strategy for Team Nigma. It's going to be blow up Sumail, and maybe, yeah, okay, we got one. Saksa has a Force Staff, so
okay,
they shouldn't allow that to happen again. But they may need to do a better job of just ensuring they don't get the perfect initiation off, because you can play confident if the Axe is off the map. They don't really have any hard catch without MC landing a big call, but they need to ensure he's either cycloned or AAD buffed, something to prevent that picture perfect initiation. But it is
what I
getting
kind of want to
scary.
see is Saksa use that Force Staff. The next time they go for a siege on high ground, have him burrow and then Force Staff on top of the Medusa. So they have both Impale as well as Spike Carapace to be able to use if they jump onto Sumail.
An interesting idea, Cap.
Seriously,
it could
AoE
work.
Spike Carapace is really legit.
No, I agree. They're not in base, so Nigma, they're gonna just pressure a little bit. You can see the Lincoln's coming out on Sumail, but there's so many methods of canceling it. I'm not sure if it's really the move here.
Tornado through, doesn't hit anything. Saksa continuing to find burrow opportunities, and Nigma apparently not feeling the greatest about going for this one. They do have some a number of items coming in soon. They just finished up the MKB for the Animage, but Mind Control and Kuro are both looking at Eon Disc, or excuse me, GH rather.
Yeah, the refresher on Miracle is going to be the big timing. Thompson, does he have BKB yet? Yes, he does. Just completed, but this is the key item. I'm just not sure if they actually have the damage for the Animage anymore. When you think about it, it's going to really be Saksa who's going to have to step up big for his squad. He's played near perfectly, but he is really the only stuns they've got in terms of setup.
Oh, ILTW is just blindly blinking in, having the confidence of both the BKB and the Aegis, and he may end up spoiling OG in their smoke gank right now. The smoke breaks. ILTW spotted for a second there. That was a hefty amount of damage that just came out, Kyle. Jumping in. Immediately he got cold snapped, and now Sumail is not going to be able to... Oh, and telekinesis. Never mind. The Mana Void comes in from ILTW, and the Medusa just falls. I thought he was going to be able to get off Stone Gaze, but no.
Me
Couldn't
too.
get anything off there. He's going to go ahead and just come right back here. Saksa and Thompson are going to have to hold out this team fight. They do manage to bring down ILTW once, but a second time, unlikely, as the rest of OG are running for the hills right now. You can see Thompson is actually already looking to cut the creep wave. He knows they've got to stall for 70 seconds here.
Stumel, I swore he had time to get Stone Gaze off there, Cap, just didn't utilize it. And I'm wondering if perhaps instead of this Lincoln's and all of these items that aren't BKB, maybe he needed just a BKB. It's queued up now, but it's a little too late. He is dead with no buyback, so likely at least one Rax. But oh no, Thompson, because of that cut mid, they have no wave. They have no wave. They're gonna have to fight backdoor.
I love it when players have the awareness to be able to go for something like that. Unfortunately, Seb sticks his head out a little bit too far. They may not be able to hit the buildings, but they can kill whatever heroes show their face.
Somewhat unnecessary from Seb there, but it's just, you know, he has buyback, so he feels like he needs to use it to help out his team. But yeah, I mean, Mana Void ineffective against targets. Spell immune, Cap. I really think Smel's gonna need a BKB before OG look to take another team fight.
But even just like getting called, if he pops BKB before he gets called, he's not going to be losing so much. He's not going to be losing that mana.
Well, the thing is, he meant to dodge the call, Cap. They didn't actually have like a setup stun, but he just got beat to death by the Invoker in the AM.
I mean, I think he pre-casted Snake or something like that onto the axe. Like I saw he got petrified on mind control almost instantly, and I thought maybe it was because he had cold-blooded. But Medusa doesn't, so he just somehow managed to get a Snake off very quickly in that fight. He is going to go for the shard now on Sumail, which may actually help him out if he can survive through the Mana Void.
Seb fake cast. It's just tough now because Sumail's your frontliner, but he can't really do his job at the moment. Get him level 25. That should be the OG mantra right now. He's so close. 75 int or split shot uses modifiers. Both would be ideal, but they're going to take this fight without it, Cap.
Pump fake a couple times. Impale not going off. They're going to go for the call now. Jumping onto Sumail. Force Staff trying to get him a little bit of distance. He does get some mana back, but it's not enough. ILTW does far too much damage as he just rips through the Medusa again and again. He has to be a little bit scared of Thompson with this buyback. But as they kind of reset things, Curl starts healing them all up. All they have to do is make sure that they heal, and then it's a 5 versus 3, and I don't think OG has a chance of being able to win this. Now that ILTW back up to full health and a pick off on a Saksa, make that a 2 versus 5.
What is, dude? Okay, unlucky for Saksa. With 2 heroes dead and without a buyback, he ran up that high ground and unfortunately was seen under a sentry ward. Nigma now, they know for sure it's 4 on 5. If Dusa has no buyback,
are you seeing this Alacrity Invoker? You can hardly see him do his attack. He's attacking so damn fast. Alacrity Animage will take game number 1 as OG. I mean, they're wrestling for control of this game for a solid 20 minutes. They were ahead. They had a 75% win probability, Kyle. It went for even farther than that in their favor, but it slips away as team fight after team fight in the late game goes to Nigma.
You're just superior initiation, Cap. They missed their combination like 4 or 5 times. I thought that would be enough of a window for OG to step into the house and get a victory, but apparently not. Just very curious decisions. I think it took something like, how long? Like 30 minutes plus before the initial, no, sorry. It was 35 minutes into the game before OG finished a single BKB. Yeah, confirmed. 35 minutes. And I just have to wonder if maybe